Well, hello everyone and welcome back to the cabin. Yes, it is still hot here. If it's still hot where you're at, let me know. We're definitely in a heat wave. But what I've got done so far is I've got quite a bit of that stuff moved over there so that I can start putting those other floor joists down. And I stacked up what wood I decided that I was going to keep right there. So that's what I've got left that I'm going to have to pick through, and when I get that done, we're going to go ahead and add those other 3 floor joists in. So that's what I was able to do. I think that's far enough. I'll lay that plastic down, even though it may not need it because, you know, this whole building is able to flow underneath with air. But I think that, you know, I'm going to go ahead and cover it anyway just to be on the safe side because we don't want moisture coming up out of the ground and beginning to mildew on the floor joist. But yeah, this is really going to be nice when we get it done. So let's get those other 3 set in there, and then we can start milling sheathing to go down on the floor. Well friends, yesterday I went in without coming down here and putting the 2x10s up that I had sawn, and we got a downpour last night. I did have those things stood up on edge. So by doing that, they didn't get completely waterlogged, but they are damp, and I don't want to put them in there like that. But friends, what I heard a while ago, well, it's kind of wicked looking back in there. We are getting ready to get a thunderstorm, because I heard some thunder way off over in that direction. So I believe that we are getting ready to get it again. So I did set them up there on the sawmill so that they would dry out and get them up out of the weather so that hopefully if it downpours again, they will continue to dry. Alright friends, I got that one bumped into place there. I meant to turn it over the other way, but it doesn't really matter. We'll go ahead and get this nailed into place. Well, now that we got that one in place, let's see if we can get this other one. You know what, I think I'll cut off the bad end right there. Alright, now we'll get this one measured, cut out, and put into place. You know what, friends, we almost forgot that this is second to last. So this one I need to cut next. That's got, most of the wane is on the bottom on this one, so I'm going to turn that down. This one is kind of half and half. I still got something to nail to. So I'm going to put this one, like I said, number 2. And I won't have to be making a splice on top of it. Okay, let's get this one. You know what? I think I'll just turn it over and cut. How about that? Yeah, I'm glad I thought about this. What we're going to do afterwards, we'll take one board and run down through the middle, make sure that it measures right, pull all of these where they're supposed to be, and we'll start laying our flooring. So this is just, a lot of times you put blocking in something structural like this, but we'll just go ahead, like I said, and straighten it out when we get ready to nail it down. All right, friends, this is the last one. Well, friends, I'll tell you what, that other shirt that I had on just wasn't going to make it. It was really wet, and about that time Jennifer drove up anyway and had me a biscuit. So I just went and took a little bit of a break, because I'll tell you what, it is hot again today, and changed shirts. So we'll get these nailed up, and then I'm going to have to go get some black plastic so that we can put down before we can start milling for the flooring. I think it's going to look really nice once we get this flooring here done. Yeah, this is not going to bother me at all, because I won't be making the splice. I'll make the splice on this one or that one right there. All right, friends, how about that? We are finished with the floor joist. Nope. I've still got one over there to put in. So what I've got here is a 2x10. I'm going to run it across the door facing this way to help when I come around the corners right here, so that I can be able to nail down on both sides of the door. Like that. All right, now we've got something to nail to. What I'm going to do is start one right here. We'll get one on this side. All right, guys, I put myself some marks on these. Now all I've got to do is push them where they need to be and screw in. Some of them have to go this way, some of them have to go the other way. But this will keep them lined up and keep these from moving around on me when I'm trying to put the flooring down. All right, friends, here's the last two. One. There we go. Well, all right, friends, we are all lined up now and ready for flooring. As soon as we get the black plastic put down and we get the logs up here, get them on the sawmill and mill them up, then we're ready. and he's waiting to get in there and check it out. Mama, you want to see it? Huh? You want to go in and check it out? Huh? He's waiting. Well, friends, we certainly got a lot of rain last night. I'll tell you, we're getting rain every afternoon with all of this heat build up, and then we have late afternoon thunder showers, so it's pretty much raining every day now. But anyway, before I get started milling, since we did get some rain, this would be a good time to burn some trash. So let me go down here and get this fire started. You know, I just thought of this, friends. This one board right here is going to save me a whole lot of trouble, because this gas tank stays at the same level all the time because only the head goes up and down, right? So it's a little bit of a lift, but with this board right here, I can actually almost do it just waist high. How about that? We get this thing filled up, start milling some sheathing for the floor. Tell you what, I'm really excited to be getting this floor put in, because not only of my tools, getting them up off the ground, but also having a place to work where everything is kind of centralized, you know. Well, how much is that going to hold? I thought it only held 3 gallons. Yeah, we're starting to get full now. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I think that was about, feels like about 4. Alright, friends, I've got to where I add just a little bit of this fuel injector cleaner every time I put fuel in. I don't put a whole lot, but I do put a little bit in there, hopefully so that it kind of keeps the engine running as smooth as possible. I'm going to say my pith is right about there, which is going to put me at right 7 3/4 inches. Then right here is the pith on this end, and we are at 7 3/4 inches. So I'd say we're pretty much level with the pith. That's a nice poplar log right there. It's kind of what poplar looks like on the inside. What are you doing? Are you at the creek? Are you taking a sponge bath? Does it feel good? Yeah. Well, I got the dogs put up now and in there by the fan, so they're gonna lay down and take a siesta. So now it's time for me to come back down here, get in this tractor and run get another log. Okay friends, right here is the pith on this tree. You see how that kind of grew way over to the side? Of course the tree is bowed too. And it looks like we're at about 5 inches, maybe just a little bit more. And I can fix that with just a little bit of rotation. Well friends, I've got the log set up there ready to go. I've also got the black plastic in there to go down, and as soon as we mill this up, I'm not really sure, but I might have enough to do at least half of it. So we'll get started on that next video. Friends, thanks so much for stopping by. We certainly do appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.